So the next problem is valid parentheses. Okay, so now in this question, we have been given a string that is containing just the characters which are parentheses. So it could be open or close parentheses, it could be curly brackets, or it could be square brackets. Okay, and you have to determine whether the string, input string, is valid or not. Now, an input string is considered valid only if the open brackets must be closed by the same type of brackets. Okay. Secondly, open brackets must be closed in the correct order. And then every closing bracket has a correspondingly opening bracket of the very same type. Okay. Let's see. The question goes. By valid parentheses, right? Over here, if I will take a bunch of example to explain, now this is valid. Even this is valid, right? Because you can see for every opening bracket, we have a correspondingly closing bracket. The ordering is also correct, right? And the open brackets, they are also closed by the corresponding same closing brackets only, right? Now, the idea is not to mug up these questions and, just do ratification in terms of how do you really solve them. Okay. The idea is to really understand what is happening. Okay. Now, can I say that
So before moving forward in the video, I would like to tell you about the brand new offering of Algocamp, which is the Lambda 5.0 course. So this is the 5th iteration of the flagship advanced backend development course with Node.js, but this time it's bigger and better. This time Algocamp has introduced a lot of new projects. The whole ecosystem is going to be more AI powered. There are projects including Lovable Clone, your own AI fitness tracker, own AI interview planner and interview prep, I would say, tool. There is some deep engineering concepts around distributed transaction, using which you're going to make a payment system or a payment wallet system altogether. There's going to be a workflow manager project. You're going to try to understand how exactly you can use the concepts of, let's say, CDC in order to implement different projects. A lot of deep technical projects and deep technical understanding you are going to get. This particular course is going to focus on making sure that you understand the system architectures and deep system concept that a lot of senior engineers are always involved with, and try to make projects on top of that. You are going to see actual scaling strategies, replication strategies, how you can make sure that your system is fault tolerant, and concepts around, let's say, Kafka, concept around Redis and whatnot. There is so many different projects that are actually added, including a WhatsApp system, something like a Netflix-like system, a Twitch-like system, a lot of AI-powered tools. We are going to actually make something like Lovable Clone and whatnot. Do check out the link in the description section below. Get the idea about all the projects that you are going to get and build. This is something that will take you from an absolutely beginner level backend developer to a very advanced level backend engineer altogether. We have received such great testimonies from the last set of batches, and people are actually loving what we have already built, but this time we have made sure that this is bigger and better. So do check out the link in the description section below and use this coupon code to get massive discounts on the current price. And now let's go back to the video.
this is a valid expression, right? Now, with that, can I also say that if an expression is valid, all of its sub-expression should also be valid? For example, this is also valid, right? And this is also valid. This is also valid, right? And this is also valid. Meaning that if there is an interesting property about a valid parentheses expression, is that a sub expression of a valid expression should also be a valid one. Okay. So now in this case, you can also see that that particular property is very well applied over here. Okay. Now in this case, Also, along with that, another property that you need to see is that the parentheses which is actually opened last will also be the one which is closed first. See, this is opening, this is opening, this is opening. This is the latest opening bracket. Corresponding to that, it is also the one which is closed first, correct? This is the second last opening bracket. Corresponding to that, you can see that this is also the one which is closed after this, right? And the same is the idea over here, right? If this is opened first, this is closed first as well. If this is opened first and this is closed first. I think the way I basically put this statement actually helps you to understand the data structure also that I am talking about, right? When I say something that is opened first or something that is opened last will be closed first, in its very I would say definition tells what exactly I would say tells exactly what is the definition of stack as a data structure is, right? So what we will do is I will create a stack, okay, and I will iterate over each and every character in the input string. Let me just remove all of this. If it's an opening bracket, do not do anything, just directly push it to the stack. Opening bracket, push. Opening bracket, push. Now, whenever there is a closing bracket, okay, whenever there is a closing bracket, right, you have to make sure that at the top of the stack, for that closing bracket, there is a correspondingly correct opening bracket also, because this has to be closed first. In this case, they do actually match, so I will just remove it from the stack. Now over here is an opening bracket, so just add it. Now we have a closing bracket. Check the top of the stack. You should have a corresponding opening bracket for the same curly brackets over here. There it is. So just remove it. If they do not match, you return false. There is a closing bracket of square. Here also it is. So just remove it. Okay. So same as previous question, but what we're doing over here is we're not actually adding, right? We're removing. If this is the same, this is also the same. So just remove it. Okay. Now, if instead of this, let's say we would have had this. Okay. You would have come over here at the stack. You would have checked the stack. It was empty. Okay. In that case also, you need to return false. All right. There should be a corresponding closing bracket, opening bracket. This open, close, top of the stack, remove. This open, top of the stack, this closing, top of the stack, it's actually the same expression, so remove it. In the end, right, if the stack is empty, that means everything actually found the correct pair for itself, right? That is when I can say that we can simply conclude that the parentheses or the expression was valid. If there is anything left in the stack, or if at any point of time while iterating I couldn't find a relevant pair, then I can simply say that the expression is completely invalid. Okay, so this is how you do the question valid parentheses. Okay, so over here, you just create a stack. Literally what I was just speaking as a part of algorithm, now I just have to write it down. No matter what language you use. New stack for int I is equal to 0. I is less than s dot length. I plus plus s dot caret I if the character is either this or the character is either this or the character is either this. Okay, any kind of opening bracket, just don't check anything, just directly push it to the stack. In the other case, if the stack is empty, you basically return false. Okay, and then, right, If the stack is empty, so you obviously came across the else code only when the stack had a closing bracket. But then when you tried to check the stack, you only came across in the else situation only when the string has a closing bracket. But what you realized was that if the stack was empty at that point, you simply return false. Okay. Otherwise, you check whatever is at the top of the stack, right? If the current character was this, okay, and at the top of the stack, which is P, you do not have this. I'm checking negation. Okay. You return false. I hope everyone understood this, that if you currently have a closing bracket because you are in the else situation, but at the top of the stack, there is no opening bracket, so return false. Do the same thing for all the scenarios, that if the current character is this, but at the top of the stack, this is not present, I will simply return false. If at the top of the stack you have this, if the string has this, but at the top of the stack you do not have this, you return false. In the end, right, what will happen is if any of these conditions was true, you would have just directly moved forward in the for loop, and in the end you just check. In the end, like I said, it's just not the time, you just stop. You check. If the stack is empty, you return false. If the stack is not empty, this will return you false. So the answer should also be false. Let's see if we missed anything. S.length. We have the character. Okay, why do I feel like we missed on something? Okay, so we didn't pop. Else, you only come across in this else situation, or maybe write all of these as else if. Okay. Right? If this is there, but at the top of the stack, this is not there, return false, return false. Otherwise, what you do is you pop the element because you're only coming to the else situation when both of them matched. And this is correct. And this is also correct. Okay. So this is how you solve the question in a simpler manner, valid parentheses. Some people try to put the equal conditions also over here, right? I tried to put the negation because in that case, the code is slightly smaller, but like feel free to use whatever implementation you're more comfortable with. The overall idea still remains the